Germany, I met him there. Sands Hotel. I took Tommy and Thomas to Las Vegas the summer of '84. We stayed at a Royal Aloha condominium there for a week. Saw Max Price in Tucson. A little relieving scene. Adrie was kind enough to take that. Beautiful mountains in Vegas. Hey, clean hands. And there are the mountains. Adrie having a little to do with an Indian. Don't know what that was all about, but a lot of fun in Vegas. Fun City, USA. Oh, these were billboards out some sunset in Las Vegas. Oh, we must be in an airplane now. We're probably flying to Los Angeles. Beverly Hills. Had a beautiful room. Look at all that here. Wow. This is still 1969. It must have been a month or so later, probably April or May, June. And we had our convention at the Ambassador, and then we took a bus trip up US 1, Ocean Highway, to San Francisco. We stopped a couple nights along the way, visited the missions, San Simeon, Universal Studios. What happened to San Simeon? Oh, Universal Studios was in Los Angeles, that's right. We took a tour of Universal Studios. Did this with the kids a couple years later when we were in Tucson. Karen, Michael, Tommy, and Margie. And then before we came out to Tokyo, we did the same thing with Mark and Jennifer and Thomas. Looked like they were shooting Airport. The name of the game. Adrie taking some shots. Dean Martin was one of those characters. This is Wall Street. They call that the area where all the walls are that they use for the different scenes. Fronts of houses. Ranches. These are just shooting. Hi, Adrie. Guess they had a zoo there also. Fight scenes. They do the same scene, I think, today that they did 16 years ago, 17 years ago. Well acted. This is the way cowboy movies and cops and robber movies are made today. Stuntmen beating up each other. Looks so real, doesn't it? Showing us how they fall from these roofs. Big mattresses, air mattresses or some such. 3 or 4 years later when we were visiting from Germany to Tucson, popcorn makers. They have those at Six Flags and DisneyLand. Oh, this might be Disneyland. Think it is. It could be. Could be Anaheim, the first Disneyland. On the bus to San Francisco, and then flew back to Boca Raton, I think through Cincinnati. I think we stopped in Cincinnati and Germany, Furtwangen, a couple hours from Stuttgart, Berblingen, Waldenbuch area. The Matterhorn, the rocket ships, we're on the monorail going around Disneyland right now. Same hippos. They've designed a standard device, I guess. It all works. We're on the bus ride up Highway 1, Pacific Ocean Highway. Very scenic and somewhat dangerous, narrow road as you get into some of the small areas. Beautiful homes along the way, built on the side of the mountain as you see the California modern style homes. Malibu area, said Malibu feed bin there. Very hilly area going through Malibu. William Randolph Hearst's Castle mansion. He had 150 workmen working to build, repair this mansion for about 10 years, and it was still uncompleted. He spent somewhere between $100 and $300 million at that time. I mean, this is billions. He had a zoo. He had hundreds of animals, wild animals, had it all fenced in. Beautiful, beautiful grounds. Something like 23 miles of beach. It stretched, this 23 miles, went all the way back about 200 miles into California. This is like the center of the state, about halfway up between San Francisco and Los Angeles. And during World War II, he was afraid of an invasion from Japan on his beaches, so he gave here's his pool, one of his pools, the outdoor pool, Greek-style bathhouse. The indoor pool is a Roman style, the outdoor was Greek style, as I recall. And that's clear water looking to the bottom of the pools, just beautifully done. The grounds were exquisite. Nothing more beautiful in Europe. In fact, most of the wood carvings were brought over from Europe. Again, he bought a few monasteries and castles in Europe and Spain and Italy and had them dismantled brick by brick, numbered, brought over to his San Simeon area, and reconstructed in the likeness as it existed in Europe. There's the indoor pool. Both Olympic size or bigger than Olympic size pools. There's a view from the hills out across his lands, 23 miles from the Pacific Ocean. No, I had 23 miles of beach. I think he was about 15 miles from the ocean. That way along here. We might be in the Big Sur area now. I don't know. I don't think we're that far up, because we stopped at Carmel later, where some of my Crosby High School classmates settled, as I understand, from reunion we had in Waterbury, 1984, just before we left for Tokyo. October 84, I went to my 30th high school reunion, if you can believe that. Can hardly believe it myself. Some of the beautiful homes right off the highway. The bus actually went into these neighborhoods. These pine trees come from. Beautiful scenery. Camera was a little screwy. The mirrors had been dropped on them. You had to aim at someone's feet in order to catch their head as you look through the viewfinder. Rocks. And here we are in Monterey, California. We stopped for lunch, I believe, and toured the city. The tourist traps and the souvenir stands. Very picturesque bay. The boats, sherry shops. And here we are in San Francisco. This is the cable turn at the bottom of Market Street. We stayed at the famous St. Francis Hotel right on this street. Got out our front door, took the cable car down to Fisherman's Wharf or wherever we wanted to go. Did a lot of touring in San Francisco also. Visited the IBM office there. Did some business, did a survey, couple surveys. Mission Dolores, one of the Spanish